You were saying chapters 1 through 3, and I love this last line of chapter 1. Sovereign is he who commands the shitstorms of the net. And I
Yeah.
think that line right there largely explains some of my small successes so far, because I've sort of been wading into some pretty big shit storms in a bunch of different communities,
Right.
and sort
Right.
of able to be a calm energy there. I'm getting some praise for being a mediator of some degree or some value. I thought that was just interesting. That's so true. That their true powers here is who can sit in the mess with the trolls and all that madness. I don't know. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
sort of you know, self awareness, or I'm not quite sure.
But I was thinking about that, like that it seems like, and whether it's conscious or not, I think it is, that you're trying to prove a point. Like, we're currently living in a shitstorm. Like, does everyone notice this? And I think a lot of people, there's no more distance. Everything's so compact. There's so much noise that they can't even hear. They can't even see that there is like chaos, just like tons of chaos going on in this digital thing and in the 3D world. And the 3D world, it's chaos, but it's a different kind of chaos. But on the computer, when you have all these panels, there's like, you can see it. You can notice that there's chaos going on. So I definitely picked up on, like, it seems like that's something that you're working to expose a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to expose that. The panels have been such an
That like
interesting thing.
maybe what this is for some people is they find you and then you pull them back out, like the off ramp. You're an off ramp in a way. You're reminding people like this is a powerful technology and it can do a lot and it's really amazing. But maybe you take time to come out of there and you go back to like the written word, or just out of this. That's for me, that's a part of it. Like, can we physically come off of this? Really crazy. And I think
Yeah, I
a
got a
friend.
couple of things on that. The digital off ramp, I love that idea. And I've been thinking about my role as almost a digestion, if that makes sense, like
Yeah.
digesting all this information,
Yes.
or maybe even creating the space for other people to digest what's going on with me, like a collective digestion, which
Right.
is sort of interesting when you think about like bodily health and all the digestion issues that people have, right? Like the
Oh yeah.
IBSs and the toxic food and the toxic information that people suffer of. Like we literally have digestion issues, and if you can't digest information, you can't comprehend things. But on that idea of people sort of, and I've heard this term, the parasocial relationship, parasocial, that people start when they're watching people on a screen, they start like identifying with that person, and think your mind begins to think that you have a greater level of insight and like familiarity with the person than actually exists. Like
Yeah.
that's one of my big talking points, is like I'm part of the audience that has just stepped forward and is now creating, but I still very much consider myself that. And I've had that with other people where you're like super sort of interested in their lives, but you never get an opportunity to talk to them. You never, there's no feedback. It's one way, and that's discussed in the book too.